Center. Plus, hotel and food during the game. Just open the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app and click Enter Contest. Sponsored by PCB Hobby, Panama City, Toyota, Holland Hearts, and Fairfield Hampton Inn on Thomas, and Home 2 Suites.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly clear this afternoon and evening with a brisk wind out of the north around 9 miles per hour and temps near 49. Tonight, we will have partly cloudy skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be slightly above freezing at 35. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 52 with a gentle breeze. Mostly sunshine Thursday with a temp of 52. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-Week Challenge. The Metamucil 2-Week Challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 Fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
If you're watching football this season, you know anything can happen. And on Hard Rock Bet, we mean anything. One fan in South Florida turned a $1 touchdown parlay into a $40,000 payday. Hard Rock Bet has parlays for days. With Flex parlays, now you can even miss a few picks and still get paid. Parlays for every kind of player. Only on Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. When your first bet or get up to $100 back in bonus bets. Payable in bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Construction is wrapping up on Panama City's newest Oyster Bar. The Local 115 opens in December on Harrison Avenue. Local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried, that's right, no fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
WGSX Leonard, WVLQ Toyota, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking
with the first pick.
This is the last ball you got in the bag.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros, interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Tuesday morning. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. 104.3 in Panama City and Panama City Beach. 101.9 in Port St. Joe. You can watch, listen, like, comment, subscribe, share, follow, all those wonderful things on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just search it up, ESPN Northwest Florida. Of course, download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. All you got to do there is search 104.3. You can also head over to ESPNPC.com. While you're there, do yourself a favor, save some money on those streaming services, and that's with Lucid Streams TV with code ESPN-NW 41.99 a month. Over 10,000 movies on demand, over 2,000 streaming channels, including all the pay-per-view, NHL, what's left of the NFL. All those are on national TV anyway, but you still need to hook yourself up with some Lucid Streams TV. Get ready for that Major League Baseball season, which is a little less than 100 days away, if I saw somebody's post correctly the other day. But basketball and hockey are still rocking and rolling, and we got our good friend. It's been 2 weeks since we talked to him, but Doc A will be joining us today at 11:20.
Nice.
I talked to him about his thoughts on his top 5 greatest basketball players of all time.
Top 5. What do you think they are?
I'm going to assume he's going to say Jordan number 1, but then I think his 2, 3, and 4 are going to surprise us.
Yeah.
He's going to say Wemby somewhere in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
top 5.
And I've got some crazy stats.
I don't think he'll actually say top 5 all time.
No. But I got some crazy stats on Wemby that I want to talk to him about as well.
No one should ever dunk on Wemby, and it happened last night.
Did it?
It did. Somebody dunked. I can't remember who it was, but he dunked right on Wemby. I was like, that should never happen.
Yeah, I mean, if he's strong, it shouldn't. But sometimes you can get through that pressure. That's for sure. That's for sure. But yeah, and speaking of pressure, I've got some thoughts on the greatest sports program in our century, in the current century, and I might throw that in the way of those North Dakota State Bison. 10 national championships in the last 15 years in FCS football. Name me another program, Jay, that's been as successful as that in their sport. I know the Patriots were really good.
I was about to say what Bama did, what the Patriots did, what the Boston Celtics have done at a time, what the Lakers have done at a time, what the Yankees have done at a time. To me, and that's not taking anything away from North Dakota State. I just think it's one of those things that when you...
all in this century, though?
Well, all of those are in this century. Right? Unless, are we talking like century started at 2000?
Yes.
Okay.
The
Well,
21st
at that
century.
point, then I'm thinking of the last 100 years.
No. I was thinking this. I should have said since 2000 and beyond.
Okay, well, 2000 and beyond. I mean, Bama's in there. What's more impressive, like doing that at the 6 out of how many? You know, or the 10 out of 20? I think that there's a strong argument, absolutely, to be made about North Dakota State. I just think that some of the athletes that you're getting over there at North Dakota State, like it's like the Alabama effect, where you know where you want to go if you want to win championships. That's not taking anything away from North Dakota State. And how about that game last night? One of the more entertaining college football games that I've watched this entire year.
No
that
doubt.
Quarterback Metlow for Montana State, like bringing him back into the game, and then Trey Lance's brother for North Dakota State. That was a very fun game to watch last night. It really was. And the helmets are really cool too. That little wheat thing, I was looking that up. So that has to do with their university seal or whatever. And so they had 50 alumni who came together and paid for those helmets for them to wear those. So
nice.
Shout out to North Dakota State, absolutely.
No doubt. And shout out to Montana State, who North Dakota State's certainly been their kryptonite in the FCS playoffs. But
I don't think Montana State's won since like 1984.
It's been a long time, and I want to say that the Bison have knocked Montana State out of the playoffs 4 times since 2018. So certainly the Bison have the edge there on Montana State. But
that took some coaching last night. That last 10 seconds of the game,
very smart.
Yeah,
very smart. You don't see very many games end on a punt.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was the case last night, where the clock struck 0 when the ball was still rolling and came to a stop. But you're right, David. Just an entertaining football game. FCS is right there. I mean, it's a level down from FBS, and it's cool because they've been playing the full playoff system for a long, long time.
And how many teams do they have in it? Like 16, right? I believe,
16, and it's a...
no one complains about that, do they?
Nope. Nope, not at all. And you get a lot of games on campus. Obviously, the national championship was down there in Frisco, Texas, but I think Division II and Division III have certain locations too where they play their national championship game. But even more time on campus, which certainly can be good. Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure. But yes, we kind of already talked a little bit about how that game went on. But I just kind of wanted to throw that discussion out there. Obviously, Bama won 1 million national championships. The Patriots were in 1 million Super Bowls, but lost as many almost as they won.
What about that Arnold boys soccer team?
They've been pretty dominant as well, at least in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still on their way this year. That is for
in favor of your argument with North Dakota State. 10 out of 20, right? You said. Yeah. And they have to go through
10 out of 15.
10 out of 15, which is even is even better, right?
10 in the last 15 years.
The fact that they're doing that, having to go through a full playoff system. It's not just, win your SEC championship, because this is our first year of having the 12-team college football playoff.
Yep.
But in the past, it was just you got to win 2 games, whereas North Dakota State, at that point, you got to win 1, because I don't think they get buys either.
No, there's no buys. It's straight 1 through 16.
Yep. So that's 4 games that you got to win on top of the games that you play throughout the regular season as well.
Yep.
And the fact that the NCAA can't, or that Division I can't model it after that, is kind of, I guess it piques my curiosity a little bit.
They should, the committee should open up a spot for the FCS national championship to slide into the playoff and just finish the FCS a little bit earlier and then see how they'd hold up.
Yeah.
The Bison. They play in a dome. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Montana State. They both play outside.
Yeah.
But football players, right? You're tough.
That's right.
You're tough. Do you have any lessons this morning?
No.
Speaking of tough.
Yeah, gosh.
A little breezy, a little cold.
Yeah.
Did you cover all your stuff that you needed to cover?
Sailor slept inside last night.
So, she normally sleep outside?
No,
I was about to say, you guys are sleeping outside at an apartment complex? All right, y'all walk her. If she looks like she's got to go, let her go.
Take care of your pets.
Yeah.
Take care of your pets.
Spade neutered yet?
Yeah. Hey, did you get that done? That was your goal before
I haven't.
Oh, my God.
I know. Well, the vet was
I'm about to
closed.
find me a golden retriever to breed her with. Boy, you better hurry up.
Hey, find me one. We'll get rocking and rolling.
Onlypaws.com.
That's right.
You can find Sailor on there.
Onlypaws.com.
Looking for a nice hike.
Oh, gosh.
Through St. Andrews.
Oh, yeah. I'm still thinking about that one.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing about it in the afternoon tonight. You've got 2 real life. One's from a couple days ago and the one from yesterday.
It just...
They follow you around.
It does.
They follow you around.
It sure does.
No doubt. I got a good heartwarming one for today.
Good.
The little update on the coaching carousel. I do know that the Titans fired their general manager this morning, so I didn't get that in there before I got to putting all this stuff on paper. So that's another additional personnel change in the NFL. I forget his name. It's got an R name maybe. What's the Titans GM's name? He got fired this morning. Rand Carthon.
How's your guy?
I know.
He was from the 49ers.
I know. The 49ers fired their special teams coach, which was good because our special teams was atrocious. Yeah. We'll probably cut Jake Moody, too.
He had an awful year, didn't he?
Another great draft decision by the 49ers. But yeah, no, and I don't think Fred Warner is going, or not Fred Warner, I don't think Dre Greenlaw is going to be on the Niners going forward because him and Fred Warner had a little party last night, kind of a goodbye party as Dre Greenlaw enters free agency and will likely be helping out another team that needs a really, really good linebacker. But kind of diving into the NFL coaching carousel, we'll start with the Chicago Bears. They obviously fired Matt Eberflus mid-season, the first time they had did it, I believe, in their franchise history. The team has requested to interview Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy, whose contract expires in a week. Also expect Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and former Titans coach Mike Vrabel to be among the leading candidates as well. Jacksonville Jaguars, they fired head coach Doug Peterson yesterday, but kept general manager Trent Blaylock. People around the league were shocked that Blaylock kept his job per numerous reports, which may not bode well for the organization's attractiveness to head coach candidates. Still, having an established quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, a great defense, and a quote-unquote little easier division division to play in, may get some serious interest for that head coaching vacancy. The Patriots fired Gerard Mayo. We talked about that yesterday after the win on Sunday, knocking them out of the number 1 draft pick spot there. But Robert Kraft still took to social media to take the blame for a bad season. Kind of nice to see that from Kraft and his leadership there. Despite a not-so-great roster, not really great wide receivers, terrible offensive line, running back room less to be desired, they still have a great quarterback there in Drake May, who in his rookie season showed a lot of promise to be the Patriots play caller going forward. Former Patriots linebacker Mike Vrabel is the main name that's looking to take over that gig. Other considerations include Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores, another member of the Bill Belichick tree. New Orleans Saints, they also fired their head coach midseason, Dennis Allen. The Saints have requested to interview Eagles offensive coordinator Kellen Moore, Bills offensive coordinator Joe Brady, and Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. Brady helped win a title at nearby LSU, and Glenn has multiple connections to the Saints franchise. The Jets, they fired their coach Robert Saleh midseason as well. Vrabel appears to be a candidate here too. But Rex Ryan keeps telling everybody that he is the best fit for that job. Obviously, a lot of questions to be answered there with the Jets organization. Is Aaron Rodgers still going to be on the Jets? Is he done playing football? You all right?
Yeah.
TV got you?
Yeah.
Hulkamania?
That was on Netflix last night.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I actually watched like 2 matches.
Did you?
And then I watched a lot of the little replays and whatever on Facebook, the reels.
Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, he got booed pretty bad last night. And when Jimmy Hart came out, I guess because it was in LA and there was a clip that came out from the comments that I read. I have I'm not as in the know as what a lot of wrestling fans are, and they could probably tell you better. But apparently he had a conversation that was recorded of him talking about, I guess, his daughter Brooke dating black people, and he was using the that word.
That's a good reason to get booed.
Yeah, but I don't know. But there could also be, I don't know if that's the fact, that's the internet fact, but there could also be the fact that, he's got ties with Donald Trump or whatever, and then he's also, in LA. So I don't know. Real wrestling fans, guys who are in the know, call in. Tell us right now, 850-215-6290. Why did Hulk Hogan get booed? Because, all I really know about him is as a wrestler. I have no idea. I just saw a bunch of comments yesterday and started doing the dive.
There you go. There you go.
But CM Punk, John Cena's back. There was Rock. The Rock came out last night. The Undertaker showed up on his bike to go out with Rhea Ripley. I watched a lot of the reels last night. So,
these are the originals that you're talking about?
Yeah,
wow.
Those people. Yeah,
there's a little nostalgia.
Logan Paul's a big deal. He didn't wrestle last night, but you had CM Punk and Seth Rollins go after it. That was the main event. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. So Roman Reigns became the original tribal chief again last night.
Okay.
And the Rock was the one who put these little red things on him. So yeah, it was. I think from what I read, a lot of the wrestling, still wrestling fans liked it. I ended up watching old WCW stuff last night.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When he started talking about wrestling, your tail started wagging.
Just childhood memories.
NASCAR and wrestling, kind of your MOs, huh?
Yeah, man.
There you go.
There
you go.
My first WCW, I think we had talked about it before. My first WCW event was in Macon back in Nitro in the late 90s. And in my basement, I had got some friends over to, we put some mattresses down.
Yeah.
Well, my buddy Robbie ended up with a broke leg that night. So,
dang, a broke leg. Usually you're broke nose or something like that.
But man, that next night we ended up going straight because we sat ringside and we went all the way to the front, and he was in crutches and everything. He was not missing that Nitro event.
No.
Yeah.
I think that was a very common tale. Not necessarily the broken leg, but the old basement wrestling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But if you're not trained and know how to do it without actually doing it, then you can end up with some injuries there as you broke leg. Fibia, tibia, or femur?
I can't remember. I just know.
Hopefully not his femur. That'd be wicked.
It was the night, and I think everybody would remember it if you're probably 45 or 50, but it was the night that NWO took over TNT, which, was the actual, they took over the whole broadcast, and Eric Bischoff and all those guys come in and started commentating. It was amazing. It was so cool.
New World Order?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I can't remember the New World. I know Eric Bischoff was the guy with the NWO, but we are talking 25 years ago.
Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. At the end of it, it was everybody. It was like Scott Steiner, Buff Bagwell. it was everyone.
Buff Bagwell, yeah. Man,
that was like once WCW kind of went away. Then I tried to get into the WWF at the time, and I don't know. There was still a lot of high-profile wrestlers, but I guess if you were on that fence of WCW and WWF, and for me, and then you started getting the reports of, I don't want to use the word fake, but choreographing, because it's not fake. The older that I've gotten, you watch it, it's not fake at all, but it's, there's a method to their madness,
that's right,
if you will, which is all about getting the crowd entertained and all of that good stuff. So that's when I was like, all right, yeah. So it's the same way with if I were to ever find out football or basketball or baseball, any of this stuff was actually rigged, not people conspiracizing about it, but was actually rigged to an extent. I'm done. I won't sit here and talk about sport. I will go talk about stuff that actually matters, because this stuff matters to me at the time. The time being, but if it's not real, then I don't have time for it. It's still fun to watch wrestling every now and again, but I just can't really get into it. I'm more interested in dadgum, the athleticism that it took to do that, the pain that you're actually going through, because the pain is 100% real. That's why I get interested in it.
Right. And these guys always start out in a gym somewhere,
Jay and his buddies broke out the baby oil for the wrestling matches.
There you go.
Hashtag no Diddy. Goodness.
I wish I did look as good as those guys do in baby oil, though. Man, I tell you.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there.
That's a thought that's never crossed my mind.
We'll be hearing that one on the radios. I wish I looked as good as those guys in baby oil.
Man.
Just saying. Come on.
I've never really thought about how I looked in baby oil, Jay, so I can't really sympathize with you on this particular statement. But I'm sure there's some listeners out there that can, and if they can't, that's okay too. That is okay too. Oh, some interesting other news coming out of the NFL. Deshaun Watson suffered a setback with his Achilles tendon injury, and he may not play in 2025. So the Deshaun Watson saga continues on. Maybe it'll be Jameis Winston's team to have. I'd be for that.
Yeah.
DTR plays pretty good, too. I don't know. Interesting stuff. Zeke Elliott went from a non-playoff contender to a playoff team as he signed yesterday with the the Los Angeles Chargers. They signed with the practice squad ahead of the playoffs to give them a little more depth at running back. They've been struggling a little bit with some injuries in their running back room, and I guess think he's still got enough in the tank to at least help if need be. Jay, when we get back, it's time to talk to Doc A. It's been a couple weeks, and I've got some interesting questions for him. So if you got any, if you want to start asking him how he looks in baby oil, we can start with that. Should you want to. You guys listen to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. No Diddy. We'll be right back.
Your home for college football. ESPN Northwest Florida.
The college football playoffs continue Thursday with Notre Dame versus Penn State in the Capital One Orange Bowl. Coverage starts at 6. Then Friday, semifinal action with Ohio State versus Texas in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Airtime at 6 right here on your home for college football on the Gulf Coast.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly clear this afternoon and evening with a brisk wind out of the north around 9 miles per hour and temps near 49. Tonight we will have partly cloudy skies and a wind speed of 8 miles per hour and be slightly above freezing at 35. Mostly sunny tomorrow and a high 52 with a gentle breeze. Mostly sunshine Thursday with a temp of 52. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Lucid Stream TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200-plus entertainment and news networks, or watch 10,000 movies on demand, including recent theater releases. Just $42 a month when you use the promo code ESPNNW at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Lucid Stream TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Lucid Stream TV logo.
Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. And now,
Doctor, my eyes.
Doc A joins the Inside Drive. It's just what the doctor ordered.
Oh, doctor.
Talk to your doctor before use.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. You're listening to Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. It feels like I haven't talked to my favorite uncle in a long time. And here we are, 2 weeks out of our last conversation with Doc A. We've got him back. It is the new year. It's 2025. Hopefully a new great year for everybody out there. Doc, how was your Christmas? How was New Year's? Hope it was fantastic.
It was good. It was chill. Just now figuring out what day it is.
Yeah.
Again.
Yep.
Because my birthday is 2 days after Christmas. So we go Christmas, and then 2 days later my birthday, and then like 4 days later New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Like, I woke up yesterday in a panic that I had slept right through this appearance, this show. But alas, it was Monday and not Tuesday.
The relief felt must have been good. Well, happy belated birthday as well, Doc. I'm sure that was a good one, too. But I know it's been a couple weeks since we talked, and I've got a few different topics of conversation to dive into. First, the looming trade deadline there for the NBA. Any players that we need to be aware of? And I know, is the whole Jimmy Butler situation got any legs yet of where he may end up going? I know he's been suspended by the Heat with conduct detrimental to the team, but they've also opened up the opportunity for teams to talk about potential trades with Jimmy Butler.
It's a very interesting situation, to say the least. Jimmy Butler went head-to-head with Pat Riley. LeBron didn't even win his head-to-head battle with Pat Riley, so I don't know why Jimmy thinks he's going to win his. News just broke, like, within the last minute. As I was on hold waiting to come on, Chris Haynes is reporting that teams are being informed, certain teams like the Memphis Grizzlies and some others that I'm not sure of who they are yet, are being told that Jimmy does not want to play for them, so don't try to trade for him. And then yesterday in Phoenix, or not yesterday, maybe it was. Was it Monday? Phoenix benched Bradley Beal, and it seems like Jimmy would be a good fit in Phoenix. So I could see some 3-team trade that Bradley Beal and Jimmy Butler are involved in happening at some point. But, I'm also not sure that Pat Riley isn't just going to be like, you know what, dude, you can sit and chill for the rest of the season. And I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think he's going to go to Golden State. He's not going to go to Memphis. I think if he's going to go anywhere, the Lakers, maybe the Mavericks, and maybe Phoenix would all make sense. But, dude, I don't know. This is a really weird one.
Yeah, no doubt. It kind of reminds me of, I get a lot of other radio stations that reach out to me about a potential trade for Jay, and I was like, he is not on the market. And he tells me, too, that, specific stations he will not go to, so don't even try to negotiate.
Yeah. He's got a no-trade clause.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah. That's the first thing we did when he signed his contract, is the first thing was the no-trade clause. It would be detrimental to the station if he got traded. So
all in.
You guys obviously know what you're doing over there.
Yeah, no doubt, 100%.
We were talking about baby oil before we got on the.
We were talking about baby oil? No, you were talking about baby oil, Jay, saying that you wished you looked as good as those wrestlers did in baby oil.
And you missed out on the Diddy party after the Golden Globe Awards.
Yeah, you did. You did. You could have
because they didn't have one.
Yeah, because he wasn't there. He's in the same place as old Luigi.
Yep.
The world's a crazy place right now.
Wait, he's locked up?
Is it? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. That's wild. Good for him.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Did they have baby oil in prison, Jay?
I have no idea. I don't want to know.
You seem to be kind of keen on this situation. Oh, goodness. All right, Doc, let's talk about some real fantasy basketball stuff. Obviously, it's been a couple weeks. Who are some of the, if people are diving into midway through their season right now, who are some good players out there that you need to take a look at and potentially pick up?
Mike Conley got benched in Minnesota. Dante DiVincenzo started last night. I think Dante DiVincenzo is getting ready to turn his season around and be good again. With the Jimmy Butler situation in Miami, Jaime Jaquez played a ton of minutes last night, put up, I think he had a triple-double. I've slept since that happened, but I think Jaime had a triple-double last night, and after not being used all year, basically, it suddenly looks like he's going to be the guy in Miami. So I think Jaime Jaquez should be a priority for fantasy managers right now. Keon Ellis is starting for the Kings after they made their coaching change. Doug Christie's in charge now. I think he's been told that he wants to play Keon Ellis. He had a good game last night. He's playing nice minutes. Bub Carrington, rookie point guard from Washington. Malcolm Brogdon is hurt again. There's nobody else to play the point. They're not trying to win games, and he's not going to really help them win games, but he might help fantasy managers. I think he's a priority pickup right now. And then Ausar Thompson should be in the starting lineup for Detroit the rest of the way, and he's coming off an illness, so he missed last night. So he may be sitting on your waiver wire. I think Ausar Thompson's a good pickup right now, too.
There you go. We appreciate that, Doc, very much. We talk about Victor Wembanyama quite often. You really brought him to our attention when you first started coming on the show with us. Jay, listen up, okay? These are some historically insane stats after Wembanyama's first 100 games in the NBA. Most points, 2,273. That's more than AI, LeBron, Tim Duncan, KD, or Dwayne Wade. Most three-pointers, which is crazy because he's over 7 feet tall. He's got 225. Klay Thompson had 204 at the time. Steph Curry, 200. Kyrie Irving, 165. And then there was a huge drop-off to Kevin Durant at 79. Most blocks, Wembanyama's got 366, which is ahead of Shaquille O'Neal's 349. Alonzo Mourning at 341. Dikembe Mutombo, rest in peace, at 309. Hakeem Olajuwon at 268. And then Tim Duncan as well at 247. And then most rebounds, he's got 1,053, which is 104 more rebounds than Anthony Davis, significantly more than Charles Barkley, and then KG, Kevin Garnett, at 677. He just leads all time in most of the major stats through 100 games. Currently this season, his second year, he's averaging 25.9 points per game, 10.3 rebounds per game, 3.9 assists per game, 1 steal per game, and then also 3.9 blocks per game. And he just turned 21 a couple days ago on January 3rd.
Don't you think it's easy that since you can see inside the hoop from probably the three-point line that it's probably easier?
I don't know. I would never know what that's like.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Kind of like the baby oil thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's like either, so I can't really speak to it. But Doc, do you think by the time this kid is done, he's going to be leading a lot of statistics here in the all-time NBA records?
I mean, it sure feels like it, doesn't it? And then guys play longer today than they ever used to, it seems like, or at least the ones who have long careers seem to play longer into their career. And you know, you're reading off those stats, and it almost feels like somebody's playing an internet prank on us, right? Like that can't be.
I mean, you look at the names that he's ahead of. Again, it's a small sample size. It's through his first 100 games, but still, a lot of these names went on. I mean, are Hall of Famers, NBA champs, MVPs in the league as well. But just
and it's every single category.
Yep.
It's not just a couple. It's all of them. And you know, I imagine even if you look at through 100 games, the most assists of all time. You know, this guy that's like 7'6" is probably in the top 100 or top 150 for those. I mean, I haven't looked at it, but he's averaging 4 assists a game, and that is nothing to sneeze at. And it just blows me away that he's actually better than I thought he was going to be. And like you said when I first started coming on your show, I was talking a lot of trash about how good this kid was going to be and how he was going to change fantasy basketball, and it's happening. And he's 21. We're only in year 2. He's not supposed to be this good, until maybe next year. So what's he going to do next year? Like it's incredible.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, like you said, you've been on this kid since the beginning, and he has yet to disappoint. And the Spurs, hey, they're over 500, and they've had a couple good wins recently. And who knows? I think the NBA would love to see Victor Wembanyama in the playoffs. No doubt about that. Got another interesting topic for you, Doc, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but Buddy Hield, if I pronounce that correctly?
Buddy Hield.
Hield, okay. Hield is kind of like, yeah. Anyway, there's been a significant drop-off this season from him, and people have been like, we need to find out what the deal with this is. Obviously, back in October, he was averaging 21.2 points per game, shooting 50% from the field, then dropped off to 13.2 in November, 45 from the field, 8.5 points per game in December, 36% from the field, and down to 8 points per game so far this month, 42% from the field. He sat at 10th on the NBA MVP ladder through 8 games of the regular season. What's the deal with this dramatic fall off? Within just a span of about 3.5 months.
Steve Kerr's rotation in Golden State is a disaster. Steph Curry's locked into his minutes, Draymond Green's locked into his, and everybody else is just a total crapshoot. And for whatever reason, Buddy Hield got off to an amazing start, and he was like a top 10 fantasy guy. He's hitting tons of threes and racking up tons of steals, and now it's just all kind of gone away. It's gotten worse instead of better. And if you take out this first 2 weeks of the season, he's been a disaster. Steve Kerr plays 12 guys at least 10 minutes a night, and it's just hard for role players and bench guys to get in a rhythm when you're sharing time with so many other people. And I really thought Buddy Hield might be good in Golden State because they needed to fill that Klay Thompson hole. And that's what Buddy Hield does. He hits three-pointers. I think Buddy Hield's hit more three-pointers in the last 5 years than any other player in the league, something like that.
Wow.
But he's been dropped in all the fantasy leagues. I'm out on him. I'm done. They added Dennis Schroeder to that team. That's another guy that needs the ball and needs shots that's going to take away from Buddy Hield. Brandon Fajemski is there. I think we've probably spent way too much time talking about Buddy Hield, but he got off to an incredible start, and then it was over.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you're just not getting the time you were getting before, it's hard to get into that rhythm, and that's what it's all about with shooting, just like putting and golf. I mean, It's all about rhythm. You get that momentum going, and it kind of keeps going, and if you don't get that action, you don't get into rhythm, it's hard to score, hard to make putts as well. All right, Doc, a lot of people have been talking about LeBron James breaking MJ's 30-point game record, but he did it in a lot more games than MJ did. We were talking about Victor Wembanyama and how crazy his stats are. Who are your top 5 all-time NBA players? Obviously, the Jordan-LeBron, debate is a popular one in sports. Again, comparing different eras, we always get caught up in that stuff when we're talking about players in sports. But I was curious to know who your top 5 all-time NBA players are.
My top 5 as of this second, because if you ask me again next Tuesday, I may have a different list. But as of this second, I'm going to go with Michael Jordan, then LeBron, then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, and Kobe Bryant.
Okay, I like that. I like having Kobe in
there. Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, certainly. Bill Russell should probably be in there. He won all those championships at Boston. I didn't really get to see him play, and him and Wilt were so much bigger than everybody else. At that time, it wasn't really even funny or fair. So I think just as far as pure basketball talent, those are my 5 guys.
I like it. Very cool. Best player you ever saw in person, which I'm assuming if Jordan's your number 1, I think you've seen Jordan play in person, so I'm going to guess that.
Well, I mean, I was at the 85 dunk contest when it was Clyde Drexler, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins. I think Dr. J was in that thing. That was just nuts. That was in Indianapolis, and it was, it came down to Jordan versus Dominique, and that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But I mean, I've seen LeBron play, I've seen Jordan play, I've seen, I don't know if I ever saw. Yeah, I saw Kareem and Magic and Larry Bird. So I've seen most of the guys that would be on any of those lists, but obviously Michael Jordan in his prime and my guy Dominique beating him at a dunk contest. I'm going to say Michael Jordan, but Dominique is my all-time favorite NBA player.
And you got the shoes.
At least my old school. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jay, what was Clyde Drexler's nickname?
The Drex.
You got the first part right,
Yeah. Clyde the Drexler.
Oh, man. Okay.
No,
it rhymes.
It does. It rhymes.
It rhymes with Clyde.
It also rhymes with Astro.
It doesn't rime with that, but it goes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand.
They use Johnson & Johnson. I'm sure they do.
They do.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Oh, Clyde the Clyde Drexler. Jay.
Hey, can you ask the expert, should I be putting baby oil on my shoes? Would that help preserve them?
It would at least help you moonwalk.
It's true. Depending on where you are. But yeah, he is the expert. He puts Vaseline on his driver face too. I've seen it.
Yeah, it does add 10 yards.
It does. Makes it go straighter too, right?
It does. Yeah.
There you go.
Where is Shaq on your list there, Doc A?
He's up there. He's in the top 20. I'd have to sit down and recalculate everything. Yeah, he's probably in the top 15.
Yeah.
Might even be in the top 10. But, I mean, I love Shaq. Shaq was tough for me because I was always a fantasy stats geeky guy. And Shaq would shoot 16 free throws every game and make 7 or 8 of them. And he would just kill your fantasy team's free throw percentage. So I was always, he was always what's the word I'm looking for? He was always one of those polarizing fantasy players because he was so good at a lot of stuff, but he was so bad at free throws, sort of like Giannis Antetokounmpo today. It's sort of the same thing. But Shaq was great, and Shaq was fun to watch. I saw Shaq play the Pacers when he played for the Magic in I think it was the 95 Eastern Conference semis or something, and he was dominant, man. He sent the Pacers home.
Shaquille O'Neal was his nickname, Jay. Shaq.
Doc A, we got a question from a listener, Cleveland Brad. He wants to know your thoughts on the Cavs-Thunder game tomorrow night.
Oh, my gosh, man. Cavaliers, I think they're at 5 losses this season. just incredible situation for them. And I've got Oklahoma City coming out of the West for the NBA Finals. I think my official pick in the East was an unpopular choice of New York, although they look pretty dang good as long as they can stay healthy. You know, Tom Thibodeau's running those guys 42 minutes a night. He only plays unlike Golden State, New York Knicks only play 7 guys, and about 5 of them play almost all the minutes. And everybody's like, okay, when are these guys going to start breaking down? Karl Anthony Towns missed last night, but we're not talking about that. So we're talking about the Cavaliers. They're so good. And this is going to be a good game. Should be a good preview. If I'm a Cleveland fan, I am pleasantly surprised at what's going on. I'm also probably throwing some money down on Cleveland winning it all. And I'm also just fired up about how well and cohesive of a unit they are. Like Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland are coexisting, playing so well together. And then the big men, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, are so good together. And then the role players are all good. So pretty cool. It's a very surprising development this season. I don't think anybody had Cleveland just rolling through the season like this.
And they are currently on Hard Rock Bets, Jay, 11-1 or plus 1,100 to win the NBA championship next June.
The Thunder?
No, the Cavs. If you were listening, you would have known that answer. Oh, goodness. All right, Doc, our time, although fun, has come and gone. We appreciate you jumping back on with us. Looking forward to talking to you next week, and hopefully maybe I'll see you in a few weeks when I'm back up there in the ATL.
I'm now going to call them the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I love it.
I like it. Doc, we appreciate your time as always. Don't let Jay ruin you too much.
Yeah. Hey, man, hope to see you in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir. You guys listen to The Inside Drive. When we get back, we haven't had a Jay Henley tip of the week in quite some time, and maybe it has to do with baby oil. I don't know, but we'll find out when we get back. And then we're going to talk about the debut of the Golf League, which starts tonight. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your home for college basketball, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Coming up tonight, Auburn is 13-1 on a 6-game win streak and ranked number 2 in the country. The Tigers travel to Texas to play the 11-3 Longhorns inside the Moody Center in Austin. Coverage coming up at 7:30, tip-off at 8. Listen live at ultra-high fidelity on your home for the Auburn Tigers and college basketball.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Payment processing fees eating into your profits? With Bay County POS, local businesses are saving time and money with secure, seamless merchant services. Reduce credit card processing fees and save up to 3.9% on gross sales. From quick, contactless payments to detailed sales reporting, it's Bay County POS. For a free consultation, call 850-359-3906. Bay County POS. Local service, global standards.
People ask all the time, who the heck is Low Cost Airlines? Well, we're not just one airline. When you're talking to us, you're talking to everyone. We are the discount supermarket for all airline tickets. Plus, we have all the airlines and always have the best prices. American, Delta, United, plus all the specialized international airlines and a lot more. And we make it easy. We guarantee you'll talk to a live human in 60 seconds. You can have the rate you need and have your trip booked in 5 minutes. Now, how cool is that? And remember, when you're talking to us, it's like talking to every single airline available with one fast phone call. All you need to do is call and find the best prices to fly wherever it is you want to go. So are you ready? Call Low Cost Airlines right now. 800-708-3092. 800-708-3092. 800-708-3092. That's 800-708-3092.
If you're not scanning while the cashier is begging, we're judging you a little.
Why am I working at the grocery store now?
It's the Inside Drive with Ryan and Jay. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios at ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. Jay, the burning question, do you put baby oil on your gator boots to keep them nice and soft?
If I had some gator boots, I probably would.
I am shocked you don't.
Yeah, I don't have no gator boots.
Remember,
He's more of an ostrich type guy.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Hey, it's when it's this cold in Florida, you got to bring your gators in.
Yes, you
Don't
do.
leave them outside. Don't forget about your pets.
That's it.
You know, leaving Sailor outside on the on the outside of your door.
She slept inside last night.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to know that.
Yeah.
Good to know. So we might have some wintry mix come Friday.
Really? Are you serious?
Are you serious, Clark? Are we past that, or can we still say it?
I think it's an all-year thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. But yeah, gator boots. Get you some.
I think you should wear gator boots with your overalls Friday.
I don't have any gator boots. I just have regular cowboy boots.
Bring the cowboy boots.
I will. I was
Okay.
planning on it. The missing piece right now is the straw hat.
We'll find something.
You got to have something, right?
I don't have no straw hat, so.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Can you get somebody from Griffin to send me down one?
There's probably a few there.
We got a few days. Before we get to it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. What do you want to do? You want to talk about the golf league, or do you want to get your tip of the weekend?
You're the host.
That is true.
Yeah.
I try to get you to be the host sometimes, but you
No, I wouldn't dare do that.
It's Jay's Golf Tip of the Week.
Decisions have been made.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's tough when you have two people trying to make a decision, but when you have an unbiased third party, that's how good decisions are made.
Yep.
So here we are.
Well,
it's been a while
It has.
since you've given us a tip of the week.
Well, I was kind of looking back at 2024 and the students that I had in 2024 and in years past, the one fault that I think I see a lot of is getting out on your toes when you get to impact.
Very common, especially with the youngsters trying to hit it a little further.
Yep. And when you get your toes out on impact, your left hip is just not rotating around far
You're
enough.
gonna slide through impact a
You're gonna
little
slide
more. That
through it.
face isn't going to be rotating.
Yep. Now, I have not seen this out here. I was thinking about this earlier, but I have not seen this kind of drill out there. But, you know, think about if you take the club, if you're trying to get it to the inside on the way down, okay?
Okay, I'm following you.
Then you're trying to basically get the club going out on the way back.
Correct.
What about if you on the way back you're trying to get on your toes on the way back and then try to reverse and get on your heels on the way through? I mean, it's more of a, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. But now you're creating more things that you have to do during your swing.
That's true.
And typically when you get up on your toes, is it because somebody's releasing that club too early because they've come from the outside in? So
Yeah.
it's forcing you to pop up through impact and get on those toes?
Yep.
What about the old, you ever use the chair, like sitting in the chair to rotate and keep that weight on your heels?
Could do that.
Could do that. It's tough, though. You want to go, and the harder you swing, the more it's likely for your weight to get Have you seen those, the plates, the balance plates?
Yep.
Not the force plates that measure where all your, but there's like a new one. It's orange. It's like, it really allows you to kind of feel that transition in the swing. I know you're not a big swing training aid guy, but
Right.
that one seemed to be pretty good as far as weight shifting. I would imagine that would help with that heel and toes as well. 'cause
Yeah.
certainly.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, not the swing catalyst balance.
No.
It's more of a,
It's just like a one that's, I don't think it's connected to computers or anything like that. I think it's just something you put down and like you could shift your weight back and then you can see where your transition of the weight is in your swing to get to that front side and then rotate through.
But if you are having like the shank word, I hate to even say the word shank, but if that's
You just said
typically
it
what's
twice.
happening, I know.
Yeah.
That's typically what's happening.
that
What
leading
about
edge.
Shawshank Redemption? Is it hard for you to say that?
Yeah. It's a great movie. Haven't watched that one in a while. But one of the things that I've learned is if you get all 10 of your toes pointing to the sky, all right, and you're just going to hit a shot with a wedge, don't use a 5-iron, but use a wedge and hit it at like 40% speed and try not to get out on your toes. So your toenails are going to be pointing to the sun.
Yep. And that's really, I mean, where your weight is applies really to any sport you're playing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, baseball, football, basketball. I mean, you're really not ever wanting your weight on your toes, because when your weight's on your heels, your center of gravity is more centered, so you're able to move, and you have better balance. Because what do you always say? Rhythm and balance.
Yeah.
In order to have good balance, you have to have good weight distribution throughout your swing.
Yeah.
And now all this is a lot easier said than done. I think golf is one of the most complicated things to do as far as it is solid over and over and over again. But that's neither here nor there.
I think it's more about changing, and I keep thinking, I've had some time to think, and it's more about changing the habits. And, you know, one of the things that that I'm looking into for this year is, for instance, you know, I'm big into the high school golf thing, and, you know, how many kids show up on August 1st for high school golf and they're like, all right, I'm here, I'm ready for the season, and they're planting that seed come August 1.
Yeah.
And what you have to do, and I'll eventually get this out and we'll talk about it, but, you know, we're creating a high school 6-week program to get ready for the fall. And we're in such a world of instant gratification. And, you know, the time is right now to create, you know, what's going to happen in the fourth quarter of 2025.
Well, what you're doing, yeah, I mean, and it's like, that's why conditioning for football, baseball, all these other sports, they don't just put the pads on and then go right to it when it's time to practice. The golf is no different. Your first attempt back at it can't be when your season's starting. Otherwise, you're going to be behind.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And the good thing about golf is, you know, get yourself a net. Get yourself, you know, one of those little putting things. There's stuff you can get nowadays. You don't have to go to a physical course to practice it, because it's all about repetitions, right? Repetitions and repeating stuff the right way.
But going a little deeper than that, though, with the, I call it humping the golf ball, but, you know, where you basically get all your weight towards the ball, it's all a confidence thing.
Yeah.
It all goes back to Phil Shomo, and if you don't have the confidence in swinging through that ball, you're going to hump the golf ball.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm trying to find a better term than using that.
It's
but,
very visual.
I mean,
get some oil first before you hump that golf ball. Oh goodness! But yeah, I know what you're saying, because it just looks like because you're not rotating, you're sliding and you're popping.
And
up.
that goes to confidence.
Yeah,
you know, you're not confident in your swing,
and it's easier to pop up and slide than it is to rotate correctly.
Exactly.
Your body's going to do what's ever the easiest, and a lot of times the easiest is a bad habit.
That's right.
A lot of good swing tips from your first one back here, Paul. I thought one of the really good swing tips too was when you said when you're practicing something new, do it with a wedge, do it at 40%, do it at 50%.
Yeah.
I've seen so many people, they go to make a swing change and they pull out, like you said, their 5 and their 6 iron, and they're taking 100% swings trying to make a change. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
You can't make a change when your muscles are firing at full capacity. In order for you got to work from the ground up.
Right.
That's why you work with those half shots. If you can't ingrain something you're working on doing a 50% shot, there ain't no way in hell you're going to ever figure it out going 100% at the ball.
That's right. And I've said it 1,000 times, is if you can't hit that ball at 50%, there is no way you can hit it at 100%. So why even try?
Yeah.
You know, you got to start at 50%. And, you know, I've had so many people come to me and was like, you know, they want to come work on their driver, and the first shot they want to hit right out the gate is the driver. They want to get straight to the problem. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. You know, let's work into the driver. Let's get to the wedge and the 8 iron and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah.
That's a good swing tip as well.
Yeah.
Ease into it.
Yeah, it's just like driving a car. You start out at 0 miles an hour and, you know, work your way up. So
yeah, you don't want to start off at a hundo.
So a lot of people do.
Yeah. Get you in trouble. Mm-hmm. Especially if you're on your phone.
My daughter.
Ooh. No. Called her out on the air.
I'm sorry.
Heavy foot.
Yeah.
Not like her dad.
No.
No, you're cautious.
Yes.
Cautious.
Have to be.
Safety first.
Yeah.
Always wear shoes in the house. All right. So what do you guys think? Do you think TGL is going to be a boom, or do you think it's going to be a bust? And TGL is the golf league. I'll explain a little more details on it here in just a second, unless I run out of time. But boom or bust, Jay?
I think it's a boom for right now, and then we get into the Masters, and I think it's kind of a bust. I think they're getting the right time of year for it. I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be, you're going to be able to see maybe a little bit more personality. They may open up a little bit. Like your Brooks Koepkas of the world and your
who aren't in it.
They're just robots, right? I mean, I was talking to somebody about this morning. They're just robots, and maybe they open up and maybe we can see a different side of them tonight.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the basics of this thing. The main thing is the screen, which is 64 feet by 53 feet. Basically an IMAX screen is what that is. They hit from areas with real grass, fairway, rough, and sand into the screen for tee shots and approach shots. Then for shots approximately 50 yards or less, they transition to the green. The green is, again, inside 50 yards. Players move to a physical, custom-built green zone. It's 22,000 square feet with a short game area that transforms between holes. The green zone includes a 41-yard wide turntable that rotates the green to change the approach angles and morph its topography using nearly 600 actuators. So it's kind of like, what's that one putting thing? The Sim Labs that you can create all the breaks. It's basically like that, but on steroids. So playing a hole in TGL requires all the same shots as any other golf course, from the screen to the green, the basics of it. So the course, 3 world-class golf course design companies created 30 original holes that start in the virtual world with shots into the screen and end with a real world on the putting green inside the SoFi Center. Each match, 15 of these holes will be selected and placed in unique order to form that night's course. So these aren't real, it's a real golf course, but it's 30 holes that were specifically designed for this particular event. The field of play, again, it's got the screen, it's got the green zone, it's got the back tee box, and it's got the front tee box. It's basically the size of a football field, 97 yards long by 50 yards wide. It's made up of 2 zones where players will take shots. Like I said, the screen zone for shots into the simulator, and the green zone for short game shots and for putting. It's basically every Tuesday, at least these first 3 weeks. It starts tonight. It's 8 p.m. in the Central Time Zone on ESPN. That is going to feature your teams playing tonight from New York versus the Bay Golf Club. And I'll tell you who the teams are, Jay, and I want you to let me know who you think is going to win this thing. You got the Atlanta Drive Golf Club. That's Lucas Glover, Patrick Cantlay, Justin Thomas, and Billy Horschel. And you've got the Boston Common Golf Club, Boston Common, their famous Boston Common up there. It's Keegan Bradley, Rory McIlroy, Hideki Matsuyama, and Adam Scott. Jupiter Links Golf Club, that's Tom Kim, Tiger Woods, Max Homa, and Kevin Kisner. It's going to be kind of a fun, entertaining group there. The Los Angeles Golf Club is Sahith Theegala, Tommy Fleetwood, Colin Morikawa, and Justin Rose. The New York Golf Club, who is playing tonight, is Matt Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler, Xander Schauffele, and Cam Young. And then the other team playing tonight is the Bay Golf Club. That is Minwoo Lee, Wyndham Clark, Ludwig Aubert, and Shane Lowry from Ireland. Whew, goodness gracious. Thank you, David. We'll get back to that here in a second. Right. Listen to the Inside Drive. We've got some real-life afternoon delight debriefs that we missed talking about yesterday. Kissy face. I don't know what it says after that. But you guys listen to the Inside Drive.
Oily face?
Oily face. Oily face.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
He's too prideful to step away. We have the right players and people. We don't utilize them correctly. And what are we doing? Why do I have to watch CeeDee Lamb be so prideful and then come to the sidelines and talk crap to our own team? I should never have to see that.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Tuesday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a brisk wind out of the north, mostly clear skies at 49. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a bit colder at 35, and a wind around 8 miles per hour out of the north. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a gentle breeze right around 9 miles per hour with a high of 52. The same at 52 Thursday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Construction is wrapping up on Panama City's newest Oyster Bar. The Local 115 opens in December on Harrison Avenue. Local drinks, local sports, and local food. Delicious oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbos, salads, paninis, wings, wine, and cold beer. Nothing fried. That's right. No fried foods at Local 115. Amazing local food with an exciting local sports and mural theme. Eat like a local at the Local 115.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Lucid Stream TV. Get over 2,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch local network channels from most major markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. Just $41.99 a month. Cut the cord, not the fun. To get Lucid Stream TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click the Lucid TV logo.
For the most complete NFL coverage.
And let's face it, all the great NFL quarterbacks have had mustaches.
It's the Inside Drive, live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios.
Joe Namath, Jeff Hostetler, Jeff George, Randall Cunningham, Mark Malone, Colt McCoy, Burt Reynolds, the guy from Barney Miller, Mike Farrell from MASH. The list goes on and on.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Rockets in flight. Afternoon delight. And we are back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 in Panama City and Panama City Beach, 101.9 in Port St. Joe along that beautiful but chilly this morning Forgotten Coast. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. All you got to do is search up ESPN Northwest Florida. You'll find us 3 live shows streaming most days, 5 days a week. The Coach James Hale Show from 7 to 9. And, of course, you're listening to the Inside Drive from 11 to 1. And then the Afternoon Underdogs from 4 to 6 p.m. You can also listen to us on our free mobile app, which you can find where, Jay?
Google Play or Apple Store.
What do you have to search up?
104.3.
That's all you got to do. Download that app. You open it up. Boom. You can stream us live right there. Ooh, a little correct sounder for you. Getting that confidence.
Good job, baby Earl.
Confidence.
Baby Earl.
Earl. Yeah. Oil. I feel like when Southerners pronounce baby oil, they accentuate it a little more.
You moved your mouth that time.
Well,
you can't move your mouth.
Oh, that's the difference?
Yeah.
You just can't move. So all Southerners could be ventriloquists.
They could be.
All right, fair.
Jeff Dunham.
Yeah. I saw him live once in Augusta, Georgia.
Did you?
Yeah. It was funny.
He is funny.
He kind of, does the same thing over and over again, but still, new jokes are funny.
That's right.
That's for sure. Oh, I was going to go somewhere I was building up to, the mobile app. So you open up the mobile app and you can enter a free contest right now. It's the Holland Hearts ESPN Northwest Florida Magic Express. Again, all you got to do is download our app. If you have it already, you just open it up. You hit the Enter Contest button. You smash and crush that Enter Contest button, and you could win 2 passes to watch the Magic host the Kings on Saturday, March 29th. But the best part is you'll watch the game from a luxury suite. Only Jay Henley knows about those luxury suites where they hand out free baby oil all game long. They'll have free.
Helps you get in and out of the seat a whole lot quicker.
Slide right in, slide right out.
Yes, exactly.
But
talk about the Astroglide.
Not only do you get the free baby oil, you get free food during the game as well. Plus, hotel included in this particular one. That way, you don't have to sleep on the bus. You still can the next day, but no rush to get back from the game. A little more time to enjoy yourself in the big city of Orlando. So if you want to enter that contest, it's between now and probably sometime in early March, if I had to guess. All you got to do is open up that free mobile app, enter contest. That's literally all you have to do. We appreciate PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Holland Hearts, and Fairfield Inn, Hampton Inn on Thomas Drive, and Home 2 Suites for all sponsoring the Holland Hearts ESPN Northwest Florida Magic Express. Speaking of oil, you got to have oil in that motor for it to run, Jay. And if you need your annual service, there's only one place to go.
Kramer Marine and Outdoor.
Correct. If we're talking about boats, but if we're talking about cars, it works for both. So I'll give you that.
Oh, I thought we were talking about 2-stroke, 4-stroke, whatever. Yeah.
Get back to that baby oil again. Both of them. They both need oil, and that's Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine and Outdoor, right there at the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd Street. It's that time of year. Make sure you're taking care of not only your vehicle, but yes, Jay, your boat as well. Get that annual service, so that way when the weather gets nicer, you'll be ready to zip right back on out there and start catching some fish or just hanging out, do some recreational boating, whatever you prefer. Of course, Kramer Marine and Outdoor and Bill Kramer GM can take care of all those needs. 24, some still on the lot. Great deals, great discounts, great rates. They've also got express service and regular service. Doesn't have to be a GM for you to go take advantage of their great service department there. But hey, you can buy yourself a boat. You can buy yourself a truck to pull it. They even got trailers there as well, including all the accessories. Would be remiss if I didn't say they sell the family of CRI. That is CRI, Sundance, as well as Seaborn and
Skeeter.
For the record, Skeeter is not part of the CRI family. It's just how it's been flowing for a long time here on the show with your Skeeter saying there. It's good stuff. Good stuff. But again, that is Bill Kramer GM and Kramer Marine Outdoor, our studio sponsor since the jump, which will be coming up here in a couple months, our 2-year anniversary. I believe May 1st in 2023 is when we got started doing this. You've only missed a few shows since then.
I have.
It's okay, though. All right, which one do you want to do first? Yesterday's or a couple days ago?
Yesterday.
Your real life afternoon delight.
I mean, I had a true afternoon delight story Sunday afternoon. I was at a park.
Okay.
And me and so, it was nice Sunday afternoon.
It was.
Like 70 degrees.
It was beautiful. Hopefully a lot of people got out and enjoyed it.
Yeah. The sun was out. And,
sun's out, buns out?
It could have been.
Could have been?
Could have been. But me and Sailor were just
this
walking along on this nature
is St.
trail.
Andrews State Park.
Well, maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, and so we're walking along, and there's not a lot of people out, but we come to an end of a trail, and boy, howdy, did we come to the end of a trail.
People were just trying to have some privacy, huh? And you just stumbled across them?
Well, look, I mean, there were two ladies.
Okay.
What age bracket would you put these ladies in?
70 to 85.
Up there. Up there.
Dude, that would be so different, I'll say. Seeing some 85. Continue all your story.
Yeah, and, they were friends, and they were
close friends.
Very close friends.
Some might say.
Very close friends. So I stop in my track. I've got my iPod, or is it iPods? Or iPod? Yeah, I took them
AirPods.
AirPods. I'm sorry.
iPods are what we had back in the day.
Yeah. What you had to add music to from your computer, and now you just search whatever you want and play it.
Your apology is accepted, by the way.
Okay, good.
That way we got that out of the way so nobody panics.
And so I just stop in my tracks, and Sailor does too. I mean, Sailor's on her. I mean, she's sitting down, not moving. She's just watching these two ladies.
Some PDA.
All PDA.
As much PDA as you could have.
I was like, man, they be loving each other.
Love is love.
Love is love. And what do you do in that situation? Do you
exactly what you did. You sit there with your dog and watch.
Circle them a couple times. Sailor, you want to be like that when you grow up?
Just be careful because you are not spayed, so you could get you get puppies in there.
I think if in that situation.
Yeah, that can't happen either.
Yeah,
at least biologically.
What we were talking about yesterday, being snorted, won't be in the equation.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But am I the only one that? And look, I know it's 2025, but am I the only one that comes across these type situations?
Yes.
Am I?
I think so.
I mean,
no, I don't think you are. Maybe here in Panama.
Okay.
Maybe between the two of us, because that's never happened to me.
Okay, David.
Not 70 to 85. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But to each their own, right?
That's it. Love is love.
Love is love.
Live and let love.
And laugh a little bit too, right? You gotta live, laugh, love.
I think
if you don't do that,
a company out of that or something like that. Just taking words that were already out there, putting them on a T-shirt. Like, who would do
Who would
that?
do something like that?
Not us, clearly. Still haven't done it. Oh, man. I need to get some goals written down for this particular show this year.
Do you?
Yeah, Love Connections at the top. Actually getting some T-shirts printed with J-isms is right there with a close second.
J apostrophe-isms.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh, goodness. You got another one, too, from yesterday. Also happened in the afternoon.
Well, yeah, now the weather's changed.
Really?
It's cold.
Is it?
Yeah. So what do? You go to a bookstore and just kind of hang out and, read a book or whatever, you know, somewhere indoors.
What about the library?
Say what?
The library.
Or you go to the library.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's the go-to when it's cold is you go read books.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
How many pages do you get in before you put that book down and never read it again?
I can do about 30 pages and I'm toast.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
You get tired or you just...
Is that double space too on the page?
Yeah, that's single pages. We're not too excited.
But anyway,
yeah,
we're at this. I'm at this. They have a coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
Books A Million?
I mean, could be. I don't
Bam.
know.
Got it. I don't think the old Noble has one.
And you know, it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and
Popular time for the bookstore.
Yeah. And this guy comes up and he asks for some coffee at a coffee shop.
Makes sense, right? Everything's tracking so far.
Typically, coffee is sold at coffee shops.
Well, the young kid working, I think it might have been his first day, but somehow he had ran out of coffee.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. This dude went off.
In a bookstore?
Off.
And no one said shh.
No.
Well, that's what you should have done.
What?
That's what you should have done. You should have shh.
Oh, that would have went well. Excuse me, sir. Can you keep it down?
I'm on page 49. Only got one more. Please stop.
Try to reach my goal for today.
I was scared, man. I was like,
Just
oh my
chewing
God.
him out because of the lack of coffee?
Yes.
What did the poor kid do?
Started tearing up.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Sensitivity.
Sensitivity.
I'm glad he didn't give it back to the old man, and then we might have had another news story.
Right.
Been having a lot of news stories lately.
Not good either.
Yeah, did you hear the one out of Bay Haven Charter
Oh,
Academy?
yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That, like, when I read that, I'm just like, how does this happen?
And it's not his first time getting kicked out of a school.
Yeah, I heard he had to resign Cape Coral or whatever.
Cape Coral, yep. And then apparently a lot of people were raising red flags as well. But we're not here to talk about the local news. That's Josie's thing to do. And
we'll get her on this show.
Yeah, we should.
Tell us what you know.
Yeah. I mean, and there's kind of a point to that. Like, the local reporting from like your news stations, you just don't seem to have like the local reporters that are going out there trying to find these stories. And she kind of found that niche to pick that up. And now, like, you know, obviously sports and stuff is different, but like just the true local reporters, there's just not really.
I think there's too much news and not enough reporters. And that's not the reporter's fault.
That's true.
You know, and
Supply and demand. Simple economics.
That's true.
But yeah, seems like there's an opportunity there to Jay Henley with the news.
Yeah.
Jay on the road.
Jay on the road. Handing out T-shirts to everybody. Get you a T-shirt cannon.
And you show up with baby oil on your face. I'm live here right now, and the wind is not bothering me one.
My lips are super, super lubricated, and they are not chapped at all, ladies and gentlemen. And if I were to go skiing, I would be good as well.
There you go.
Park City, Utah, I saw this morning on the news, ironically. They have a huge strike going on right now with all like the people that work on the mountain and stuff like that. So like people went out there on vacation. There's like 300, 400 people in line to get on lifts and stuff like that. Yeah, I would be livid.
You know, on my way to work today, I thought about just like heading out to Colorado and working seasonally there, like at a snow resort, a ski resort or whatever, and then coming back here and working seasonally here, like as a bartender or whatever.
A lot of people do that in the golf business too. I know a lot of people
just not doing this anymore.
They'll stay out there too, and in the summer they work at the golf course. In the winter, a lot of that time the resort is not only a golf resort, but it's also a ski resort as well, like Whistler and stuff like that, British Columbia.
I got to figure something out.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, T-shirt business thing doesn't work out. and fall back on that.
Right. There you go.
I mean, a lot of golf pros in the Northeast, they'd work, from, April to the end of October, and then they'd come down to Florida and work in South Florida for the wintertime, so they'd bounce back and forth a little bit. A lot of them would make enough money in the Northeast that they just come down and play golf in the wintertime. But those aren't as, you don't see those as much as you used to back in the day.
Yeah.
That's for sure. All right, so anyway, the old guy, I don't know how old. He wasn't the same. Was he the same,
an older
same
guy.
demographic as the two
He
ladies who came across?
He had to be at least 65, right?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Was he down for the winter?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, I don't want to categorize anybody there,
But you did.
I did.
And,
you confirmed it, Jay. And he was upset. The guy just wanted a 2:30 cup of coffee.
That's all he wanted.
That's it. And it's a coffee shop.
So who do you blame, Jay?
Management.
I like that.
Where's Karen? She'll find out.
We talked about it earlier, though, but you said it right. Like, I mean, the guy's going to get a fresh cup of coffee if he can, just wait
Just be
5
patient.
minutes.
Yeah, what's the moral of the story? Be patient.
Have some rhythm and have some balance.
That's it.
Dance
That's
while you're
it.
waiting.
I hear you, dude.
Dancing in the rain.
Yeah.
Baby oil rain. Yeah,
Don't ever-
or was the kid not trained correctly enough to deal with the challenging customer service moment?
It's a possibility.
Was he equipped with the right tools to overcome the customer complaint? It's a legitimate complaint. You're at a coffee shop and you don't have coffee. But he could be, excuse me, sir, if you've got, 5 more minutes, can I interest you in demoing one of these million books we have here? And you can, read maybe the first 15 pages. And then by the time you're done reading that, I'll have a cup of coffee ready for you. And it'll be a fresh cup of Joe.
Or, I mean, we're in today's world where there's a coffee shop on probably every corner. Like, why not just, and that's what I would do. I would just,
Yeah, but I
would leave and go to the next. Yeah, I mean, anyways.
Yep. I think there's teachable moments on both sides of that particular situation, but awkward for you nonetheless, being there watching somebody get chewed out and wanting to intervene, I'm sure.
The older I've gotten, I don't dare say I've seen it all. Because,
you never will. You never will.
Yeah.
But patience is if you can have patience in life, that'll go a long way. We talk about attitude often. That's up there too. But patience, man, is up there probably just as high because every day's not going to go the way you want it to, and you're going to have to deal with situations. And the more patient you are, the less anxiety, the less stress, and then maybe you won't, pass that on to somebody else.
And persistence.
Persistence, indeed, indeed. Now, is persistence and patience, is that kind of going against each other? Because if you're persistent, are you patient?
But I think persistence is not going over the top. Persistence is just kind of keeping on, right? And you could be patient while being persistent. But you can't not be patient. I mean, you could still, I guess, be persistent, but that's like over the top and more annoying and nagging and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, think about a high school.
This philosophy today is just we're killing it.
Think about the high school player that's a freshman, okay, and he is playing fall golf from August to November, but he or she is that freshman that starts out and only plays golf from August to November and then goes and does it again. That, to me, is one step forward, 2 steps back. That would be the opposite of persistence.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
100%.
Persistence would be...
That'd be doing the bare minimum.
Exactly.
Which I don't know if that's the polar opposite of persistence, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
Well, I think it is.
Okay.
I mean, do you agree?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
But, I don't know, philosophy.
Philosophy 101. All right. Saw this story on the Today Show this morning, and it actually is written up, so I can tell you about it. It's actually a very good, feel-good story. Title of this is from today.com. Chicago baker searches for the son she placed for adoption, and finds out he's a regular.
Say that one more time.
All right. Chicago.
Slower.
I know. I'm not doing good with adoption. Chicago baker searches for the son she placed for adoption and finds out he's a regular.
Okay.
Pretty cool stuff.
That is
pretty cool story. This is a story by Rachel Abramson. Lenore Lindsay never stopped thinking about the baby boy she placed up for adoption in 1974 when she was only 17 years old. What did he look like? Was he happy? excuse me, unbeknownst to Lindsay, she had already had some answers. Lindsay's long-lost son, Vamar Hunter, happened to be a regular at her Give Me Some Sugar bakery in the South Side of Chicago. Not only that, but he only lived a block away. You can't tell the story without thinking God, Hunter told today's Laura Jarrett. I was just led the entire way. Hunter, now 50 years old, found out when he was 35 that he was adopted. In 2022, after years of searching, he enlisted the help of a genetic genealogist, Gabriela Vargas, to find his birth mother. After Vargas determined that she'd found Hunter's mother, she reached out to Lindsay, 67, with Hunter's name and phone number. If Lindsay was interested, Hunter very much wanted to meet her. Out of caution, Lindsay called Hunter from the bakery line. Because I wasn't sure who he was or anything, Lindsay explained. When Hunter, a father of 4, saw Give Me Some Sugar pop up on his caller ID, he was confused. He said, I didn't think I ordered anything, he recalled. Then I heard a voice and I was like, Miss Lenore? Once Hunter and Lindsay realized what was happening, they both started screaming, and Hunter had been frequenting Give Me Some Sugar on a weekly basis for more than a decade. Hunter came in for the lemon bars and pancakes, but there was also something else that drew him in. The whole vibe. I was just comfortable, Hunter said. Nothing that Lindsay would often joke around with him, asking, hey, you gonna eat all that? Lindsay was recovering from breast cancer surgery, and shortly after Hunter and Lindsay reunited, she experienced a stroke. Hunter, who had no baking experience, quit his job and stepped in to help his mother manage the bakery. He now works alongside Lindsay full-time. He's absolutely the best cake maker, Lindsay gushed. His cake is so much better than mine, I don't even know how. After Lindsay and Hunter's story made headlines, they noticed an influx of new customers. People who are interested in their family business can stay up to date on their website.
I like that adjective there. Lindsay gushed.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't make this up.
No.
You really
He was drawn to it. It was his mom the whole time.
That's insane.
Pretty wild.
That is wild.
Wild indeed. That's why I wanted to bring it up after your particular stories.
And that was in Chicago?
Chicago, South Side. Give Me Some Sugar, SUGAH bakery.
That'd be like us finding out we're all brothers after...
Yeah, I mean, it would be, but I don't think that there's a reality there since we all know our mom and dad.
Yeah. Been on fire today, Jay. Oh, goodness.
Sometimes I'll be wondering, dog.
All right, we got to get Brad Law on the line. He's probably patiently waiting up there in Auburn, Alabama. You guys are listening to The Inside Drive. When we get back, we'll be joined by Brad Law, the Director of Broadcast Operations for the Auburn Sports Network. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
It was exposed that Jalen was having a little affair with and dating the therapist on the team, which is a total no-no. I don't know how you get smart when you're already stupid. So, and how do you treat it like a...
Weekday mornings 7 to 9, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Tuesday's weather. The remainder of the day, there will be a brisk wind out of the north, mostly clear skies at 49. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a bit colder at 35, and a wind around 8 miles per hour out of the north. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a gentle breeze right around 9 miles per hour with a high of 52. The same at 52 Thursday, and we'll have mostly sunshine. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
In 2025, multiple trips to Krispy Kreme should be the New Year's resolution that you keep. Since 1937, Krispy Kreme has been satisfying everyone's donut cravings, from the popular glazed to a variety of specialty donuts that simply can't be duplicated. The same will hold true in 2025, so keep making those trips to Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme Donuts next to HCA Hospital 23rd Street and Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts, where you get them hot.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense.
Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's alive! Look alive! We're alive!
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Coming up, 8 p.m. Central Time Zone right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. That is the number 2 ranked Auburn Tigers traveling to Austin, Texas to take on the Texas Longhorns in their second SEC matchup of the 24-25 season and their first matchup since Texas has been in the SEC on the hardwood. With all that being said, you'll be able to hear him tonight as well. That is Brad Law. He's the Director of Broadcast Operations for the Auburn Sports Network. Brad, hope you had a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And 2025 seems to be off to a good start for the Auburn Tigers.
It does, and Happy New Year. Glad to be here. I want to know who sold the Krispy Kreme account, because I heard that commercial in the break, and I immediately, as if I were a Pavlovian dog, my mouth started to water. And so whoever sold that account did a fantastic job, and we need to talk business because we'd like Krispy Kreme to sponsor some of the stuff that I do around here.
Well, ironically, that is John Gay, one of our salespeople, and he actually brought a box, I think 18 total donuts into the studio this morning. So if you're trying to stay away from the sugar in 2025, the ESPN Northwest Florida studio is not the place you want to be. No doubt about that.
Everything in moderation, Ryan. Everything in moderation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Except Auburn Tiger basketball. Take as much of that in as you possibly can. Great recruiting class, great transfer portal class, number 2 in the nation for basketball. And we talked about it yesterday. To top that all off, 2025 Miss America is an Auburn Tiger cheerleader, Jay Henley. When you're winning, you just keep winning. Yep. A lot of buzz right now on the Auburn campus across all sorts of stuff, Brad. Just a good time to be an Auburn Tiger.
You know, and if you're not familiar, Walker Kessler, who is...
Yes, I saw his reaction when she won it. That was pretty cool.
So imagine Walker's life right now. He's a thriving center in the NBA who is putting up numbers that, not a lot of centers have put up. I forget what the stat was, but like a double-double and 2.5 blocks a game and fewer than 24 minutes a game or something like that. So, you're taking care of yourself physically, you're producing on the court, your salary's $5 million a year, and your girlfriend is Miss America.
Not too bad. I know Jay would take that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think anybody would take that for sure.
You're waking up with so much praise every day, you don't know what to do with yourself. You're probably late for work because your Thanksgiving is so much when you wake up in the morning.
I would imagine.
It's a good time and a lot of excitement, and basketball tends to bring out a lot of excitement and a lot of reasons to be thankful around here for basketball too.
No doubt. Before we dive a little more into basketball, it's been obviously we've had a couple weeks, Christmas, New Year's, all that good stuff. Kind of update all our listeners on what's going on, not only on recruiting for football, but a lot of great additions in the transfer portal as well as the Hugh Freeze era as we approach year number 3 seems to be off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, it really is. They've been very intentional. The first couple of years, Coach Freeze was sort of trying to make up ground on the high school recruiting trail. And so, game plans suffered because of that in 2023, and maybe some of the portal focus wasn't there in 24. But now going into year 3, the staff, the collective, everybody who has a hand in portal recruiting have really done a really nice job of identifying the top players that are available and then going after them with a really attractive package. Everybody's going to offer money. This idea that Auburn's offering more money than anybody else, they certainly could, but they're not overpaying for guys. It's attractive to be at Auburn right now. Wins and losses of the past are the past, and these coaches are really effective at selling the vision to these players, both high school players and portal prospects. So 2 new tackles, 2 new wide receivers, the top 2 receivers probably out there on the portal market, a tight end, a running back, Jackson Arnold, the quarterback from Stanford to be a backup, to go along with Deuce Knight, who's the 5-star signee that they brought in. So it is literally a completely remade. It's like home makeover roster addition. We didn't just add crown molding or replace the roof. It's a full-on home makeover of the offense. And then they just added Chris Murray, who signed from Sam Houston. Was an effective edge rusher, 6'4", 6'5", 240 pounds, really explosive, helped Sam Houston to a 9-3 season and a bowl game. So it feels like some of the defensive players are starting to go into the portal now, maybe teams that were playing in playoff games or late bowl games, and you'll see some more reconstructing of the defense at this point, already having seen the offense be totally remade.
Yeah, no doubt. Hugh Freeze making some stuff happen up there on the Plains in addition to all his other staff. And like we've been saying, it's just a lot of looking into the future, a lot of hope, especially given what's kind of happened to a lot of the other, let's call it the Alabamas, Georgias. Obviously, Alabama not making the playoffs, Georgia getting knocked out of the playoffs. Maybe it's time for Auburn to rise again, and it seems like it's moving in the right direction anyway.
Yeah, well, that's the goal, and that's why Hugh Freeze was brought in. It's why you've seen a lot of unity among, donors, and it's not just big money donors either. It's the everyday fan that maybe can't give six figures to the collective, but Auburn's put a package together of $15 a month that people can give, and there are certain benefits that come with that, like an online content streaming service that's pretty unique and that others in the SEC are starting to copy because it's a good idea. And there's nothing new under the sun. Everything's a copy of something else, so why not? You're just seeing a lot of unity right now. There's unity at the top of the athletic department. There's unity down the line among the fan base. And when you have alignment, and we've talked about this before, I think, Ryan, that
Absolutely.
Whether it was Alabama in 2007 or Georgia in 2015-16, and some of the other places where finally sort of you get tired of things the way they have been, and you say, what does it take to have the alignment that will get us to where we want to go? And Auburn's there. And they've been there for a couple of years now, and you saw the roster get better from year one to year two. Didn't see the record get better from year one to year two. You saw the roster get better, and now you're seeing it improve objectively from year two to year three, and that's exciting because the next step is better results on the field.
Absolutely. You got to kind of build that foundation first before you start to see those results out on the field. And love that. In anything, any business, any sports team, any organization, the unity is so important, especially from the top all the way down to the bottom. I mean, you even see it in the highest level of professional football where you've just got some organizations that are a lot better than others. All right. Switching over to the hard courts, the basketball team still number 2 in the country. Tennessee is still undefeated, hanging out at number 1. They had a nice win over, I believe it was it Florida this past weekend? That
Tennessee beat Arkansas.
That's right. Calipari, that's right. And Auburn took care of business against Missouri. Number 2 in the country, but number 1 in the net ratings. Brad, can you explain to me what the net ratings are?
I can. I know that it's a computer formula. It's more than winning percentage is a part of it, but it's not just winning percentage. It is the opponent's winning percentage, and that is the opponent's winning percentage. So, for instance, Auburn has beaten Houston this year. And the fact that Houston is having a good season, with every win that Houston gets, it's going to help Auburn because they're going to get more value out of their win over Houston. Iowa State the same way.
Yeah.
Iowa State's also a top 5 net rating team. They've only lost once this year. That was to Auburn. So as Iowa State goes through the Big 12 and they play these tough teams in the Big 12, not only does Iowa State's rating improve, but Auburn's will as well, because of the teams that Iowa State will play. And it's why the SEC teams are not really you're not going to fall very far as long as you're winning your share of games in the SEC, because almost all of the teams are top 50 net-rated teams, and now you're into the part of the schedule where everybody is playing everybody else. So, as long as you're winning, your opponent's winning percentage isn't going to change that much, and your opponent's winning percentage isn't going to change much, again, because everybody's playing each other now that are at the top of these net ratings. So that's what it is. It's your winning percentage, it's your opponent's winning percentage, and your opponent's winning percentage.
Got it. I appreciate you clarifying that for me. And a big part of Auburn's winning percentage right now is from a potential player of the year. It's still a little early, but just want to talk about some of these stats, Jay, to get you an idea of where Johni Broome is kind of hanging out after 13 full games. His stat sheet's basically longer than a CVS receipt. He's the number 1 ranked player in the KenPom ratings. He's the number 1 ranked player in the Evan Maya ratings. He's 5th nationally in double-doubles with 9, 5th nationally in rebounds per game, 11.1, 6th nationally in blocks at 38, top 10 nationally in rebounds, 156, top 10 in defensive rebounds per game, 7.9, top 25 nationally in field goals at 106, top 30 in offensive rebounds per game at 3.3, top 50 in points per game at 18.6, top 50 in field goal percentage, shooting a robust 57% from the field. He scored 20 or more points in 9 games, 8 or more field goals made in 9 games, offensive rating of 123 plus in 10 games, offensive rating of 140 plus in 6 games, 4 or more offensive rebounds in 7 games, 5 or more defensive rebounds in 12 games, 10 or more defensive rebounds in 5 games, and then you go to the assists and the blocks, and it just keeps going. 4 or more assists in 6 games, 3 or more assists in 8 games, 3 or more blocks in 8 games, 2 or more blocks in 12 games, and he's got 1 or more steals in 8 games. And a big part of why the Auburn Tigers are where they are now. And pretty important that he came back to the team. Him and Dylan Cardwell kind of, I was watching the Missouri game this past weekend, and the announcers were kind of talking about how they were probably sitting together and be like, you want to go back? And they're like, yeah, I'll go back if you go back. And then they both decided to go back and just having awesome seasons. But, obviously Johni Broome is a huge part of this Auburn Tigers basketball team, but also they're extremely deep as well. I think if he can, barring injuries, of course, knock on wood and all that good stuff, hopefully he can stay healthy. And, we'd love to see a national player of the year potentially come out of that Auburn basketball squad.
I think that's what you're going to see. It's hard for me to envision. I mean, Cooper Flagg is the guy that is his competition.
Yeah.
And I saw this post on X from Matthew Winnick, I think, and apologies if I'm mispronouncing his name, but Flagg is currently putting up the 5th best college season ever across KenPom's Player of the Year metric. He's been doing it 13 seasons. Wow. Cooper Flagg's is the 5th best ever. But Johni Broome's is the 4th best ever.
Woohoo! Got him by 1. I like it.
And the game that Johni's, like all the guys who play around the rim for Auburn against Missouri had tremendous games. I mean, Broome had 24 and 7 rebounds and a couple of assists and blocks. Chad Baker-Mazara had 13 points and 3 rebounds. He was 3 of 4. So Broome, Chad Baker-Mazara, and then let me find Chaney Johnson. Okay, Chaney had 13. So Broome, Chad Baker-Mazara, and Chaney Johnson, I'm doing math on the fly here, were 17 of 24 from the field.
I'll take that every game.
They scored 40 points and grabbed, 17 rebounds. They also, by the way, were a combined 12 of 15 at the free throw line. So they're making shots close to the rim, and when they're not making shots, they're getting fouled, and they're making their free throws. What more do you want out of guys that are going to be around the rim the majority of games?
No doubt. And Baker-Mazara has a knack of getting fouled behind the three-point line as well. He's just kind of found a way to make that happen quite a bit. And the energy he brings to the team as well is second to none. And they've just got – it's a special group. There's no doubt. And excited we get to talk about it every couple weeks, and looking forward to their first road test in the SEC coming up tonight. That'll be right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Obviously, Auburn's 1-0. They go on the road to Austin to take on Texas in what will be, I'm assuming, it is their first ever SEC matchup against Texas and their first road conference game. How tough of a test will it be against the Longhorns, especially kind of Auburn definitely struggled a little bit last year on the road in SEC conference games, and they're looking to get off to a good start on the road in conference play tonight.
I think, and this is going to sound like hyperbole, and the non-Auburn fans can roll their eyes at this, I think this is the toughest game so far of the year. I think it's the third or fourth toughest road game Auburn has in the SEC. It's the first ever SEC game at the Moody Center. Texas is 38-6 all time at the Moody Center. Of course, that's a brand new building. They only opened it about 3 years ago. They're 4-1 against top 10 teams in that building. Cameron Indoor Stadium is an intimidating environment, and it's loud, but they have fewer than 10,000 fans in there.
Yeah.
Texas will have 16 plus there tonight, and they're hungry. They lost to Texas A&M over the weekend, and they can't afford an 0-2 start in conference play. So I think the key in this is Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson is the freshman 6'6" guard for Texas, All-American out of high school. He's averaging 19 points a game. Denver Jones defending Trey Johnson is the story of this game. Missouri's leading scorer, Mark Mitchell, was held to 2 of 9 from the floor. Now, before that, he was 5 of 6, 6 of 12, 7 of 9, 8 of 14. Those were some of the games he'd had before coming into Neville Arena. Can Denver Jones lock down Trey Johnson the way he's locked down every team's best perimeter scorer? If the answer to that is yes, Auburn can get one of these wins on the road in conference play, which are so valuable. If not, Texas absolutely has the ability on the perimeter to score enough. They're the top three-point shooting team in the SEC. Three-point shooting teams at home can run off a lot in a little bit of time. So that's the key matchup tonight.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And you can listen to it right here. You can listen to Brad Law, all the guys calling that game over there in Austin, right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Coverage starts at 7, tip-off at 8. 7:30? 7:30,
Yeah,
tip-off at 8. There you go. Dave was giving me some sign language behind the glass. But looking forward to hearing that one. Hopefully next time we talk to you, Brad, Auburn's got a few more conference wins under their belt and can continue into February where it really starts to heat up, and they got to play those Alabama Crimson Tide a couple times. But we appreciate you jumping on with us. Again, hope you had a great, happy New Year, and hopefully 2025 continues to be a great one for the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Always worry, go to the Auburn fans on the coast and have a Krispy Kreme for me.
There you go. We certainly will. Jay may have 2 for you,
Yep.
just in case you're a little extra hungry. You guys are listening to Inside Drive. Final segment on this Tuesday coming up next.
Weather in the Panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
We're up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Hurricane Helene.
And breaking weather as it happens.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
From the fairway to the rough.
I was hoping to squeeze in 9 holes before this rain starts.
From the greens to the bunker.
Certainly, Your Eminency.
It's the Inside Drive with Ryan and Jay from the Bill Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studio.
The good Lord would never disrupt the best game of my life.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Jay Henley.
Yes, sir.
The man, the myth, the legend.
No.
You ever put anything in that front pocket?
Do I have a pocket?
Yeah, you do.
I do have a pocket.
So I was asking if you ever put anything in there. Like a pen?
Business cards.
Business cards.
Yeah, could do that.
Golfwithjay.com.
Yeah. I've never been a big fan of the left pocket.
The left chest pocket?
Yeah. But
hey, a lot of people keep a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah. Do they still make pocket protectors?
I would assume so. They still make pockets, right?
Do you want to get ink in your pocket? I carry one with me everywhere I go.
That sounds terrible. Right. Well, you can think anything worse than getting ink in my pocket.
Yeah, there's other things I wouldn't want in my pocket, but how they would get there would be strange. So
Indeed. All right, I want to jump back to this. The golf league again starts tonight on ESPN with the match between, who did I say? It was between the Bay Club and the New York Golf Club as well. It also on ESPN Plus. Scott Van Pelt, Matt Berry, and Marty Smith. Actually, I think that's a pretty good crew, especially with Scott Van Pelt being the host of that one, and then Marty Smith and Matt Berry, just very entertaining commentators nonetheless. But each TGL team is comprised of 4 PGA Tour players and will have 3 players compete in each match using a mix of technology throughout SoFi Center field of play. Teams will face off in 2-hour matches across 15 custom design holes in a hybrid or of virtual and real life action. We've already talked about the hitting into the screen and then hitting into the green as well. The match format consists of 15 holes over 2 sessions. Triples will be 9 holes and singles will be 6 holes. Each hole is worth 1 point, and the team with the fewest shots wins the point, obviously. Ties are worth 0 points, and there are no carryovers. The team with the most points after 15 holes wins the match. If tied, overtime is a 3 versus 3, closest to the pin competition. Like I said, each hole is worth 1 point unless, Jay, the team throws the hammer. This game changer increases the value of a hole by 1 point when used, giving teams the opportunity to press home an advantage or put their opponents under added pressure, much like a real press on a normal golf game out there. But the marketing team, I don't know how long they sat around and thought about, what should we call this? We'll call it the hammer.
Yeah.
You remember the hammer driver?
I do.
He'd be out there in the desert.
Wasn't that square?
Yeah, it was like the really weird.
And then like it kind of.
It was inverted. Yeah. And the guy would be out there in the desert.
I used it as a chipper for when I wanted to hit left-handed.
Yeah, there you go.
Heck yeah.
There you go. The hammer. I wonder if that thing still exists.
And what would he say, Mulvey? Would he be like?
He would yell something. I forget what it was, and it would echo through the canyons.
Yeah.
4. No, I don't.
Might have been 4. I don't know. He didn't seem to always know where it was going. The league format, similar to professional hockey, TGL will use a points-based system that includes 2 points for a win and 1 point for a loss in overtime. The regular season will feature each team playing each other's team in a round-robin format as they accumulate points in the battle for a playoff place. The postseason will be comprised of the top 4 teams in the SoFi Cup standings. They will advance to the playoffs, which will include a single elimination semifinals or a best of 3 finals series. What do you think? You gonna watch it tonight?
Is it gonna be live?
Yeah.
Like straight up live? Like no? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there's a delay.
It'll be on Netflix. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's on ESPN.
It is.
Yeah.
It is ESPN and ESPN Plus.
I will watch. I mean, I know I don't typically watch a lot. I don't watch a lot of
Well,
football.
sometimes you got to go to Books A Million in the afternoon and get yourself a new read.
Yeah.
Only when it's cold, though.
Rom-coms, though, huh? You talked about that off the air.
Yeah.
Not rom-coms, but romantic novels.
Sure.
You're like a 55-year-old lady.
I was wondering about that the other day when you were talking about it. I was like, wait, they make rom-com books, or are you talking about reading like romantic. Or eroticism?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I mean, that's what they are.
And there's a little bit of murder and a little bit of whatever.
Jeez. Okay, a little murder, she wrote, a little Matlock. Okay. I see it. Feel like I'm watching TV or reading books with my grandma.
Grandma's over there sitting
Just wait till you turn 44, David Hayes.
I don't think I'll be reading romantic novels, but, who knows?
What would you be doing?
Well,
At 44?
What's on the
I have no
cover
idea.
of those books?
What's on the cover? Mm-hmm. The title?
No, a picture of a guy on a horse with no shirt on and all that.
I don't know. I'll bring a couple in. I'll bring a few in.
I want
that
you to
I've
read
read.
us some excerpts from these books.
Okay. All right. Story time with Jay.
Romantic novels.
An afternoon delight.
Yeah. It's perfect for it.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean.
So you know where this... do you have to ask anybody where the section is, or you just walk around until you find it?
No, I can find it.
Yeah, you got it locked in.
I can find it.
Yeah, you just look for the pictures.
But, I finished that one, It Ends With Us, which is on Netflix. But the book, I've not watched it on Netflix, but the book was amazing.
Good.
Amazing.
Are you going to watch it on Netflix?
Maybe. I'm out now on the Netflix thing.
Why?
I don't know. Just, there's not a lot on there.
You just got to find it.
No.
Search it up.
Search it up.
Mm-mm.
Happy Gilmore 2, isn't that out?
No, July 25th, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, what they say, Happy New Year, Happy Gilmore.
They were just announcing that it was coming out. Yeah.
That is wild.
The tease.
Yeah.
The tease. But it is coming this year, July 25th.
And Days of Thunder's potentially coming
saw
back.
that,
Did you see that? Man, Tom Cruise, I mean, he just keeps going.
Timeless.
Yeah.
Timeless. But yeah, getting back to the golf league. Good or bad for golf? What do you think? Like the recreational player.
You're gonna put me on the spot.
I mean, this is what we do. I ask you questions, and sometimes you give me answers, and sometimes you say, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll ask if the weather will get a little better. Maybe I can ask a few golfers.
Or you could just answer the question.
But I don't know.
I don't think it moves the needle for recreational golfers.
Yeah.
Because, like, you can't just go, play on an IMAX screen and that kind of stuff. Now you're starting to see the simulator stuff pop up more and more. There's one over there in 30A. But you're starting to see more of these simulator places kind of pop up.
For $75 an hour, you can rent out the simulator at Golf Plus.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's not per person either.
Yeah,
you can get a group of 4, go over there, $75 an hour, and you can rent that out.
Yep. When I was in college, I did a business project on and there's quite a few of them now, but like a golf course simulator cafe. And you see them in big cities all the time where you got, 6 or 7 of them kind of lined up together. There's a bar, there's a restaurant, and it's like an indoor Top Golf essentially. Which, if you drive past that, looks like the progress is going pretty well over there right now.
Wouldn't you think that real golfers would prefer to play on a simulator more so than a Top Golf atmosphere?
I would say yes.
Unless you're like playing with people who don't play the game of golf.
Yep, I would say yes. I
think I would prefer that because then you're actually playing the game, and Top Golf is fun when you're playing with people who don't play. Then or if you got kids with you, you can play Angry Birds and they can have fun. But you're like, okay, this is nothing like real golf.
Yeah, absolutely.
But reps, I mean, to answer your question, Ryan, I think reps are better in anything that you do, and it'll allow them to, allow the recreational golfer to get more reps in, like Golf Plus. If you want to go over there and rent it for an hour, it's better than sitting on your couch like this evening or whatever. But
the in-home simulator, the pricing on that stuff is really starting to come down.
Yeah.
Like, you just really need a screen, a net, get you a flight scope, something like that, get you a computer. I mean, you can really, for under $5,000 set your own, which, is not cheap, but
Right.
you know, when they first started coming out, you know, a TrackMan is still like $22,500, something like that. So, but you're starting to get more affordable home simulators and stuff like that. So, you know, people, the golf geek or the golf nut can do what they want to do and practice and get the reps in. And you get more information than you ever got before,
You do.
which can be a little overwhelming at times. But the aspect of this league where they got to putt and chip, that's why I'm gonna kind of tune into this, because you know, we can watch these guys hit shots all day into a screen, but the fact that they actually put the ball and have the undulations and all that, where they actually have to chip and putt on real grass, is pretty cool.
So how does that work out?
So once they're inside 50 yards,
they go to like a real golf course.
Yeah, they have this 100-yard long area in the SoFi Center.
In that area, just
so you've got the back tee, but it's got what did I say? 600 actuators that adjust. It 41 yards wide, and it rotates, and so I think that's why I'm going to tune in.
That is pretty wild.
I mean, the fact that they, you know, you're because
I'm gonna watch the highlights.
Yeah,
Sure.
the reels, the reels, just like the WCW or WWE, whichever it was. But yeah, because I mean, that's one of the tough things that's always been hard about these simulators is when you get to putting and chipping, that's where the realisticness really goes way downhill because you can't incorporate that much into a screen.
Right.
Now the TrackMans and some of these other simulators, they have like rough and stuff like that, but this is they got bunkers, they got actual undulations. So
and there's a live audience as well.
Yeah, I saw they were trying to get more people to show up, so they were offering incentives for you to come be a part of the crowd. So if you want to take a trip down, I want to say this one's down in the Naples area, something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds like a good trip.
It's in the eastern coast of Florida, kind of in the Mecca.
Jupiter?
It's probably pretty close to Jupiter. Or you can buy tickets. How much do you think a ticket is?
$50.
Oh, what in the world?
That's way too high, Jay.
Really? That's too high?
I would think so.
Oh. I would think for the opening night or whatever, I think it would cost like $75 to get in the door.
All right, let's see. It's just like a stadium, so you can choose where you want to go. We want 3 tickets. We don't want 1 ticket.
Yeah.
Please adjust your search. Is it sold out? Might be sold out. Prices including fees. Yeah, now I need to see what the fees are. Just keep zooming in and zooming out. And it tells you where the fan zone sections are for your particular team, because you don't want to sit where the other team fans are currently sitting. I can't. This is the worst interactive thing ever, Ticketmaster.
Hopefully the show is going to be a lot better. The TGL show.
The golfing match.
Or the match. Or
Who do you
show.
think?
I think it's a show, isn't it? Not a match.
I mean, it's definitely entertainment. There's no doubt about it. Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going with New York.
Ooh, Team New York.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Because the other one was like you started out with Min Woo Lee right off the...
What you got against Min Woo Lee?
And I don't nothing.
Nothing? Just haters?
Yeah.
All right, let me find the teams again. All right, it's the Bay Golf Club versus New York Golf Club.
Can we Hard Rock bet this?
Good question.
I need to find out.
It's in Florida, so you would think that they would jump all over. Oh, place bet right there on their homepage, tglgolf.com. Tells you the schedule. Place bet.
But can you do it on the Hard Rock, though?
Well, this is on FanDuel. So FanDuel's got the Bay Golf Club plus 100 right now, and the New York Golf Club at 138. So that sticks with what you were kind of saying. Looks like the New York Golf Club is the favorite.
New York Golf Club is the favorite. Hard Rock's at negative 130.
So there you go. Betting on simulated golf.
Yeah, and the Bay Golf Club is plus 100.
I might take the Bay Golf Club for that 1-to-1 odds.
I'm going to go the underdogs.
I'm going to go Bay Golf Club. Bay Point.
Do it for the Bay.
Do it for the Bay.
Bay County. I mean, come on. Dadgummit.
St. Andrew Bay.
St. Andrew Bay. West Bay. North Bay. East Bay. South Bay.
East Bay Flats. I hear that stupid commercial all the time. I don't know if that's on our show or not, but I hear it.
Let's just lay by the bay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Have a nice day.
Over there in the St. Andrew State Park. See what we can see?
Yeah.
I spy with my little eye 275s.
Jay's over there throwing baby oil at him. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Afternoon Underdogs coming up at 4, followed by Auburn Tigers basketball as they take on the Texas Longhorns. Coverage starts at 7:30, tip off at 8 p.m. Y'all have a great rest of your Tuesday. Cover those faucets. Keep your dogs inside.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents
Wrestling Against Cancer.
Live men's and women's professional wrestling returns to Panama City on Saturday, February 8th at the Bay Charter Academy.
Come see the most exciting professional wrestling on the Panhandle.
Wrestling Against Cancer number 10. Proceeds go toward Ryan Holland's cancer expenses.